Donald Trump is a convicted felon, and if elected,
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
he is a danger to this country.
I did something that nobody thought was possible.
He will abolish your rights.
I got rid of Roe v. Wade.
He is a danger to our democracy.
I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. There's nothing wrong with saying that you've recalculated.
He is a danger to national security.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of him.
He is a danger to our safety.
One address, one brutal, unapologetic takedown, enough to send Trump into a full-scale meltdown. Ketchup flying, Diet Coke shaking, Truth Social on fire. But this time, it's not just the ad, it's who's behind it, and they're making sure he hears every single word. Imagine waking up to absolute chaos. The Lincoln Project just dropped a nuke-level ad so brutal.
I'm your golden cow, your Moscow mule, oh vladdy daddy. I'm your useful fool, shove your hand in all the way. I'm your puppet, tell me what to say.
Even Trump's spray tan is sweating, and Melania, let's just say her real feelings might have slipped out. Trump's reaction, a full-blown Truth Social meltdown. This ad has him in DEFCON mode, and well, someone might be sleeping in a separate gold-plated bedroom tonight. So what did they say that got under his skin this bad? Stick around. Trump walks around like he's the final boss of politics, the Chuck Norris of comebacks. But let's be real, the man has the emotional durability of a soggy McDonald's straw. Every time the Lincoln Project drops an ad,
Say, Trump loves his vladdy daddy. Oh no, are we the baddies? Trump loves his vladdy daddy. Oh no, are we the baddies?
it's like flicking a booger at a chihuahua, except this chihuahua is covered in Cheeto dust, drowning in an XXL suit, and throwing a full-scale tantrum on Truth Social like a grandpa who lost his remote. So what's got him spiraling this time? Oh, just the usual, getting roasted harder than a Thanksgiving turkey.
The Lincoln Project salutes Vice President Donald Trump. As Vice President, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest. Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country. We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his
drowning in more legal drama than a reality TV villain, and watching his loyalists flip on him faster than a greasy burger at a roadside diner. Trump seeing a new Lincoln Project ad is like a cat realizing its reflection isn't another cat. It's pure, unfiltered chaos. And the second his eyes hit these words, oh, you're gonna want to see this. You can almost hear the record scratch inside his head. His grip tightens on the phone. The Diet Coke trembles.
President Trump announced this month that the Gulf of Mexico is going to become the Gulf of America. Can Jimmy have some freedom fries with that? Well then, how about a big, beautiful canal instead?
And we're taking it back.
But if tropical isn't your thing, how about the land of ice and snow? Looks like Christmas is in January this year. Greenland, or should we say,
Somewhere in Mar-a-Lago, a staffer instinctively ducks for cover, and then boom, the tantrum detonates. A ketchup bottle takes flight, its contents splattering across the walls like some kind of avant-garde crime scene. Out on the golf course, a distant shriek echoes, like a bald eagle just stubbed its talon. His thumbs, now tiny rage-fueled missiles, firing off a meltdown so unhinged, even autocorrect throws up its hands and walks away. Meanwhile, his rivals, oh, they're loving this. Popcorn in one hand, a fresh list of insults in the other. They know the rant is coming. Something about witch hunts, fake news, and a nickname so painfully lazy it sounds like a malfunctioning AI came up with it. And Putin? Well, let's just say he's back in Moscow getting a foot massage from a very disgruntled former president. If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button, because one tiny thing, one microscopic blink and you miss it moment just sent Trump into a full-throttle unhinged meltdown. And when I say meltdown, I mean hair flapping, Diet Coke chugging, Twitter finger shaking, veins popping like overstuffed sausages levels of rage. His face, redder than a ketchup stain on a Mar-a-Lago tablecloth. His mood, somewhere between angry reality show judge and grandpa who just realized the remote doesn't work. And his Wi-Fi? Well, let's just say it's about to feel his wrath too. Trump is overheating, not from the Florida sun, but from pure, unfiltered rage. He's
Hello, Daniel Caldwell. This is the VA Crisis Response Hotline. We're calling to inform you that your emergency request for in-person counseling for PTSD has been denied. To stop fraud, waste, and abuse, these services will be replaced by VetCare AI, powered by Grok, an X company. President Trump and Doge Chairman Musk, thank you for your service and being part of our efforts to eliminate waste. Have a nice day. Press 1 to repeat the
refreshing, because this wasn't just any old jab. This was a full-scale attack on his ego, a brutal, humiliating reminder that his iron grip on the Republican Party, yeah, it might not be as unbreakable as he thinks. And the mastermind behind this digital knife to the heart? The Lincoln Project, yep, them. The same group of never-Trump Republicans who have been living rent-free in his head since 2020, dropping ads so devastating they might as well be emotional drone strikes. Now, picture this. Trump sprawled out on one of his gold-plated overstuffed chairs, so extravagant even Liberace would say, okay, this is a bit much.
He was the first president elected with the help of a hostile foreign power. That's not a hoax. It's the conclusion of the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee and every national security agency. And what did the Russians get helping elect Trump in 2016? Turns out they got a lot. For decades, the greatest adversary of the Soviet Union and Vladimir Putin's Russia was the Republican Party. Now the Republican Party is the heart of pro-Putin movement in American politics. That's why Donald Trump nominated Tulsi Gabbard, Moscow's sweetheart, for a critical national intelligence position. That's why he loves J.D. Vance's vicious attacks on Ukrainian freedom fighters. What happened to Republicans standing for freedom? Tens of thousands of Americans died fighting a European dictator. Now, an American president embraces a dictator.
One hand gripping a big gulp-sized Diet Coke like it's an oxygen tank. The other clutching his phone like it holds the last remnants of his dignity. He's scrolling, expecting the usual. Praise. Comparisons to Abraham Lincoln, but better. Conspiracy theories claiming he's still the rightful president. Maybe even a "Sir, I cried when I saw this" comment from a guy with an American flag ivy. But then, bam, right there, staring him in the face. A Lincoln Project ad so ruthless, so disrespectful, it makes his blood pressure spikes. Like a 4th of July firework. Maybe it's an old ally turning on him. Maybe it's a brutal reminder that his influence is fading. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the phrase, "one term, twice impeached, loser," flashing across the screen. His pupils dilate, his breathing gets heavier. He was the first president elected with the help of a hostile foreign power.
In the power grab and illegality going on in Washington, it's easy to feel helpless, like there's nothing you can do. Don't believe it. Every state has laws protecting your data online. The penalties for violation are civil and criminal. Elon Musk and his tech bros are not above the law, and a corrupt president has no ability to pardon state crimes.
Elon Musk has gained access to sensitive personal data on millions of Americans, including social security numbers and bank information. President Trump says he wants Musk to go even further.
That's not a hoax. That's not fake news. That's the conclusion of the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee and every national security agency. And what did Russia get in return for helping elect Trump in 2016? Oh, they got a lot. For decades, the greatest adversary of the Soviet Union and Vladimir Putin's Russia was the Republican Party. Now, the Republican Party is the heart of the pro-Putin movement in American politics. That's why Donald Trump nominated Tulsi Gabbard, Moscow's sweetheart, for a critical national intelligence position. That's why he loves J.D. Vance's vicious attacks on Ukrainian freedom fighters. What happened to Republicans standing for freedom? Tens of thousands of Americans died fighting a European dictator.
Conservative more than Republican. There's no Republican Party anymore. It's dead. Donald Trump killed it. Like he's like a parasite that ate its host from the inside out. It's over. So I'm one of the small group of survivors from the old school of limited government, individual freedom and liberty, constitutional adherence. You know, there's not many of us. You could fit us around the table at a Waffle House most days, but you know, we're still sort of trying to.
Now, an American president embraces one. The ketchup on his well-done steak starts trembling. A Mar-a-Lago staffer peeks in, sees the incoming explosion, and immediately decides, yeah, today's a good day to call in sick. And then it begins, the rant, an all-caps, typo-riddled, legally questionable, totally unhinged meltdown. It's 3 a.m. somewhere in Mar-a-Lago. A phone screen glows in the darkness. Trump is furiously typing. Another Truth Social meltdown in progress. The usual hits. The Lincoln Project, losers, rhinos, very nasty, very unfair people. The Wi-Fi is crying. The Diet Coke is running low. And the Lincoln Project, oh, they're laughing. Already planning their next devastating ad drop. But here's the thing. These ads weren't just about fighting Trump. The brains behind them, they didn't just sit back and let the ads do the talking. Nope. They stepped in front of the camera themselves. Steve Schmidt, Rick Wilson, the co-founders of the Lincoln Project, and they weren't afraid to say it out loud. Let's be real. These ads weren't just political attacks. They were cinematic masterpieces. If Hollywood ever made a thriller called The Man Who Wouldn't Leave, Steve Schmidt and Rick Wilson would be the executive producers. And here's the kicker. These weren't just anonymous attack ads floating through the internet. Oh no, Schmidt and Wilson? They grabbed a megaphone, climbed onto the nearest soapbox, and made sure Trump heard every single word.